Welcome. My name is Tammy Peterson, Senior Director of Marketing and Business Development at CompassCom Software Corporation. Thank you for taking the time to watch our on-demand session. We appreciate the opportunity to share with you how the City of Akron, Ohio, has been able to realize efficiency gains through a truly integrated solution. To take you through the presentation are Mike Gaudet, Chief Revenue Officer at CompassCom, and Darren Rozenek, Applications Manager at the City of Akron. And with that, I will hand it over to Mike.
Good morning. Thank you, Tammy. Just a quick review of CompassCom, and then I'll hand it over to Darren. CompassCom is privately held, based out of Denver, Colorado, where we focus on doing asset management, fleet management, and remote sensing and wireless technologies for 27 years now. We're up to our 7th generation of platform, and have kind of continued to listen to the customers and providing a more stable baseline, higher performance, etc. We provide on-premise and managed cloud solutions for both. There's definitely workflows that warrant both applications. And we kind of strive to bring in your own device as opposed to having to go out and acquire hardware specific to your needs. But we integrate with the devices and then provide that information on the back end of the system. Additionally, the whole platform is built on the Esri platform. So we do try to leverage the existing investment in the ArcGIS Esri enterprise solutions and provide this in a customized workflow so that it fits into our end customer needs. So as we look at this picture, we can talk about this for a long time, but focusing on the left-hand side of this diagram, we have a vast set of assets. And when I say vast, we're talking different types. That could be Motorola radios, Sierra wireless modems, Cradlepoint modems. We'd have a lot of custom applications built into the CalAmp LMU modems. We also track smartphones and tablets. Now, we focus on getting the data in and good data into this middle box, which is the location data engine, which you may hear me say LDE quite a bit. But that's a SQL standard database. And we're parsing through all of these disparate type of assets coming in to the LDE at different cadences. And we store them off in a SQL standard database so that we can push it out to the right. On the top right box is in the apps box, really has the CompassCom viewer and a reports and alerts features that can be used by the end users. And that's like the CompassCom solution. So this gives you all of the geofencing capability, et cetera, that you may want to have. Now, in the middle on the output connectors, you'll see that we give everybody access to our data. We're not holding the data hostage. We're focusing on getting good data into the LDE and have our own solution for display and reports and alerts, but also enable other people to see this, which means we give it out through easy connectors, such as the GeoEvent connector, tape connectors, P1 CADs, etc. And then also we have an open API that we enable other GIS companies to integrate into custom workflows if they want to take our LDE data and push it through a customized workflow. And then on the bottom, you'll see as part of this presentation, we have a really simple connector. It's already in place to integrate with the Cityworks API. So again, just philosophically speaking, we focus on getting good data. We present it as a package for other people if they like it. But more importantly, we get the good data and enable it to fit into the end user's workflow. So we mentioned that we have on-premise and cloud solutions. So at CompassCom, we have CompassWorks, which is basically the cloud-based solution. We manage it, provides all the backups, and takes all of the IT worries of managing the database away. This solution, which is really nice about it, all the maintenance is wrapped up together, and you also have unlimited viewers. So you could have a tablet to pick up and see your assets running around on the map. You can be on a phone, you can all of that, but you also have desktop applications, and you're not having to pay per viewer license. So that's the advantage of CompassWorks. Compass Track Enterprise is the on-premise solution. And there still remains a need for on-premise solutions for security people that need to be behind a very strict firewall. They like to keep control of their data. So we still provide an on-premise solution where they are taking that IT aspects of managing the database and have their more strict firewall protocols. Real quick, Compass Respond is really a tactical portable device. It's basically the Compass LDE in a briefcase or a Pelican case, and you're plugging into a Motorola radio, and you can track the radios even though they're out and away from normal communication. So it's more often phrased, you can track the last mile. So if you're out there tracking, a heavy surveillance area of fire or any type of natural disaster, it's a very portable but still very efficient type of tracking of the Motorola radios. And then CompassCom for developers, which is really enabling the third-party GIS integrators to integrate our system into, well, it be their own viewer or their other standard protocol. So as you can see, we try to hit the key markets of where people may want to have an AVL-based solution, asset tracking, feeding it into different work order management systems or fleet management systems, and enable it to get the good data to them. I'll hand it over to Darren to talk about the city of Akron.
So thanks, Mike. So the city of Akron, we'll go through this fairly quickly. Fifth largest in Ohio, roughly about 200,000 in population. The key to what we're discussing today are the next two bullet points, in my opinion. So the city of Akron is 63 square miles roughly as a municipality. Our utility service area is 107 square miles. So what that tells you from AVL standpoint and from a utility maintenance standpoint, we service a much larger area than we do our population of the municipality. So from a logistics standpoint, it is important for us to be able to identify where and how and what equipment is out in our service area as well as our municipality and what job it is performing. So that kind of ties into the conversation we're having right now about AVL and our workforce management and our work order management. The next slide is pretty much to discuss how the city of Akron is leveraging CityWorks, and then to tie into that importance of CityWorks and an AVL tie-in. So as you can see, the city of Akron has standardized on CityWorks. It is deployed throughout what we call our service department. So our water department, water plants, sewer maintenance and sewer field work, as well as our public works, sanitation, streets, highway maintenance, parks. And then we are next this year trying to finish off our public works storeroom, and we are pulling in the last of our service department into CityWorks, which is our plans and permits, which will have an integration with OnBase and will tie into all the other work order management that we do across any of our other utilities. So as you can see, we are trying to really find a way to focus and leverage all of the technology that we currently have. Now, to go into the technology, we are an ESRI ELA customer, so we do have a fully functional in-house enterprise ESRI portal system. So our CityWorks environment is sitting along with our portal environment, and we run all of the map services for CityWorks through that portal environment. Next, why is this important? So for the city of Akron, just to discuss it a little bit, we have 400 AVL units at least. I think we're up a little higher than that now. What that means, our sanitation trucks, our plow trucks, our street sweepers, our dump trucks, just our straight up pickup trucks that are on site. I believe we even have some on our equipment in itself running around the city. So it is very important for us to keep track of those assets in our work environment, not just from a work perspective, but just from a costing perspective of how much equipment we have out in the field and what it is doing. Our current use cases before we started to integrate with CityWorks, you would like to say we used it a little more efficiently. We did not. It was mostly used as a disciplinary action if needed. Our snow and ice office used it primarily for tracking the vehicles, but not necessarily whether or not they were or not on site. That has started to change over the last year and a half, 2 years, as we begin to roll it out through some of the other vehicles like street sweepers. So the modems that we have in these devices are tracking dump up, dump down. It is tracking the arm motion of our sanitation trucks. For plows, it's plow up, plow down, spreader on, spreader off. So there is a large amount of information being tracked that we need to find a way to actually start leveraging. And again, it goes into that bullet point I had discussed. We really need to be more efficient and use the existing technology that we have and try and find ways to make the city better. So that was what we had discussed with CompassCom. That was the approach we had taken. We had our large CityWorks implementation and wanted to leverage that CompassCom technology to see where an integration with CityWorks could really go.
Yeah, Darren, I think to follow on with that, when we converted from on-premise to the hosted solution, CompassWorks, the whole discussion about tracking the actual materials of the snowplows being spread also came to light.
Yes, that is definitely one of the larger conversations that we have in the city every year as snow and ice starts up, and as we start looking at the costs of that material every year and how to track it better. Yeah. So to talk a little bit about CompassCom's connector. So as you can see, it will log in Compass Track from CityWorks. So Compass Track has its own login separate from your CityWorks login. Allows the legend, allows breadcrumbs, allows the selection of the different assets through the tool, and it allows a little bit of smart searching and then the history replay. So as you can imagine, it is bringing that complete AVL that everybody leverages and wants into CityWorks, and then allows you to use that in whatever manner you can from a work order management perspective.
Yeah, Darren, one thing to jump in there, I think there's quite a bit of work in setting up the transfer of the, call it the approvals, or what you're allowed to see on the Compass Track side. So as you're setting up the AVL system, you can put different assets into different groups and allow privileges for some people to see some assets and not other assets, run report on some assets and not other assets. All of that approval and privileges are now brought right into the CityWorks environment too. So we try to do it once and not having people to have to do the same task multiple times.
Absolutely. So I'll speak a little bit to the implementation of this. So for the city of Akron to implement this, in all honesty, it was about a 45-minute phone call. So what they leverage as far as how their connectors work, you have a little configuration that has to happen on the CompassCom side. So since City of Akron is a SaaS leverager with CompassCom. Their developers had to, we'll say, register our CityWorks URL in the CompassCom product. And on the city side, our CityWorks implementation, we installed some Java files and some CSS files on the app server for CityWorks and made sure our firewall allowed communication between the two systems. And that is really all it took to get this system configured and up and running. So from a functionality implementation standpoint, it was very fast and pretty simple to get configured and running. So with that, we'll go straight into a demo here. So what I'm going to do is bring up the actual system, and we'll start just by looking at the standard CompassCom system. Now this is the City of Akron's instance that I'm showing right now. And what you'll see here is up at the top, you have your standard bars. The Compass track is the actual product that shows all the vehicles. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this because this isn't what we're here to see, but I just wanted to show everybody so you could see what their product looks like. So this is what a lot of our, we'll say, managers come into to see their vehicles on a daily basis. They can see which vehicles are actually running. And this is where they manage that and then come back into the core product to run reports. So run time, idle time, speed tracking. So that is what you would use this for. What we wanted to do is, as a city, take it to that next level. So I'll just talk about one quick use case right now. While we look at this, if you're looking at our inbox right now in CityWorks, you'll see I have this report. It's all open service requests in the last 7 days. So the City of Akron averages about 79,000 service requests to our 311 office every year. This is one given week, and you can see this pie chart really speaks to what work is being done. And we're going to go with cart issues and special bulk pickup today, because over the course of the year, special bulk pickup is actually our largest percentage of work orders that are added into the system per year from our 311 call center. So it doesn't look like a lot this week, but that's because summer is starting, high weeds and grass are starting to take over. But special bulk pickup from the online portal and from phone calls is one of our main, we'll call it pain points. So we switch over to the map and you'll see all the yellow dots. Those are our special bulk pickups. We track them on a yearly basis. We have procedures for it. So our public works team really wanted to find a way to make sure, how do we know if those are getting picked up, or if a call for trash not being picked up comes in, how do we really prove that our trucks had went by before they even made the phone call? So what I'm about to do here, you'll see the CompassCom button was added at the top when we registered it with IIS. I'm going to log in as a standard user. When I log in, what you're seeing now is all the vehicles just popped up. So you're looking at highway maintenance, you're looking at parks, you're looking at sanitation, you're looking at our sewer trucks, you're looking at our streets trucks, our plows, our sweepers that are all out there. So you can see, just from a functionality standpoint as a manager, I can now start to really understand our workforces. Now, here's where we start to get into some of the cool features about this integration is, as a manager, I also don't need to see all of these. So I'm going to start to shut some of these off. I only want to see sanitation trucks because right now they're the ones that are out picking up garbage. So you can see, obviously, we are up in our ward number 2, running our trash today. We're on Monday, so they're running all the Monday routes. So that's step 1. I'm really seeing them. You can also see how they're changing colors. So what that is telling me is when an arm is moving, it's turning orange. That means he's stopped, he's picking up a trash can, and he's dumping it. So again, I'm learning something every time I'm looking at this. And as service requests come in from our 311 office, you have the full leverage of being able to turn on, turn off all of these service requests that come in to the city as they come through. So
Hey, Darren, is this live data right now?
this is live data. This is our system as of right now. So
We picked a good morning to do the recording.
absolutely. So as you can see, when service requests start popping in, they will be visible on the screen. So let's take it to a next level. So as a manager, I'm going to hop back over here in CompassCom. I'm actually going to shut visibility. Well, I'll leave visibility on because it'll allow you to see it. But we just received a call, say on truck 53703, that possibly it did not get picked up. So the trash on their route didn't get picked up. So I'm going to come in to sanitation. I'm going to look for 53703. Let's see if I can actually find him.
Fourth one from the top. No, it isn't. Sorry. There you
There
go.
he is. So he's there. And what I'm going to do now is do a replay on it. So I'm starting today. I'm going to start at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know what? They go out at 4 o'clock. So I'm actually going to start at 3:45. And I'll end it tomorrow because it doesn't matter. And I'm actually going to load the replay. And now, the one thing this is doing as it's loading is I know all our trucks start off down here at the service center in Triplet. So when I hit play, you'll see it start to pop up once it goes live. You can pull the truck out anytime you want.
You can speed up the replay too.
Yep. You
To
can speed
7.
up the replay, but I'm a little impatient. So, because I don't know when it started, you can see the truck's way out here. So it actually started at one of our other depots. And this is its little replay. You can see it kind of running around, doing whatever it's doing. What I'm going to do is, now that you've kind of seen how it works, I'm going to stop and do what's called paint the town on this vehicle. So I just need to answer the citizen. So I'm going to load the paint the town. And what this will do is actually turn all of the breadcrumbs on for that vehicle. It's actually, you can see, parked back at the service depot now. And all of the breadcrumbs should have displayed. Not sure why they did not display.
Did you do a spotlight area? Did you?
Yeah, so let's spotlight it here. Yeah, it's not liking that one. So what we're going to do is we're going to exit and we're actually going to load it. I'll paint the town again. And it show. So there we go. So now you can see what that truck did today. So now as a manager, and again, live demos and all that. So you're actually seeing our working environment. So you can see the pattern he traveled. And if we wanted to, at any time, you can click on any of these. It'll tell you there's your truck. There's the date. There's the coordinates, how fast they were going, what the engine was doing at any time. So if I had gotten a call for a missed trash somewhere on his route, as a manager, I could come in. If the call came in, say at noon for the missed trash, and I come in and I actually look at the vehicle and he was there at 8 o'clock in the morning, that tells me more than likely that citizen is not being honest, and possibly that trash can wasn't out there when the employee went by. So it gives them a tool to start to make decisions on all of these phone calls that are coming in. The other thing it does for special bulk pickup, that is a different truck than our sanitation truck. So if he knew what truck he is using, and we actually got out of replay mode, and now you're just a manager trying to find resources as these calls come in, you now have visibility into the system to say who I should send to that. So if you want to see if there is a highway truck available to go to a special bulk pickup, then I can reroute resources from inside Cityworks, almost like a dispatcher, and tell them, hey, this address over here, I have a high weeds and grass, and I'm going to deploy you over to here, and you can make that call over the radar or radio without having to wait a day if it's a special needs, or to change your workflow if you have roaming inspectors across your service area. So it really does give you, as an organization, as a municipality, the power to actually see your work along with your workforce. And that's ultimately where you want to get to as a workforce and as a manager and as a work order management system. You're starting to get to some of that very interesting workflow that you can do: water main breaks, sewer repairs, calls for backup. If you're able to get those calls coming in from your 311 center, they are plotted. You have your event layer set up to actually capture that, and you're looking at your workforce. You can begin to real time deploy assets to solve some of your problems. You're being a little more reactive, or a little less reactive, and a little more proactive by being able to visualize your workforce. You can see I have cookie crumbs on following the sanitation trucks because I never shut it off.
Hey, Darren, I would imagine rather than looking at two different disparate systems, having this pulled together, do you see more use of the CityWorks environment now that the AVL information is integrated into CityWorks?
I'm not sure I would say more use. What I would say is better use. So more efficient use. How about that?
Yep.
So CityWorks for public works and for water and sewer is like air. They work all day, every day.
Yeah.
The AVL, one of the key problems was the fact it is a different system. So to leverage it, you're opening another window, you're going somewhere else. You can't see all of your work orders and all your service requests inside CompassTrack. This is great if you're doing just straight up asset
tracking. Yeah.
You just want to know where they are and what sort of thing they are doing. If you want to know what your operational instance looks like, you have to have the two combined. It's really the only way to see something like that. And again, they have all the ability of their legend to come in and shut off, the public works data. So if it's too busy, they can shut off their route areas and shut all of the extra information off. And if they want to go down to the municipal parcel level, they can, and they can actually see where this truck is sitting. So what's this business here? It really takes it to almost a dispatching environment from CityWorks if you want to leverage it that way. Now, it's not that we're perfect, and we're certainly not 100% functionally using this the way I see us being able to get to, but we're at the point where we can. And that's the key. So we can, if we want to start changing business processes to effectively use it, we have the ability to. 6 months ago, we did not. And that allows you to add another arrow to that quiver of how do I make the city of Akron function and be more efficient, help them serve the citizens better, because ultimately that is the reason why we're all here. So that is why I push this, and our public works manager, Jim Hall, has really bought into it. And we're really trying to find those ways to take it to that next level over time. So with that, we'll go back to the slideshow.
Yeah, that's a great demo, Darren. Thanks.
We can, it went well. So, hey, congratulations to all of us on a live demo over video. So, nothing seriously blew up on us. So
sure.
We'll go to this slide. I'll let you.
Yeah, we got a few more minutes left here. So hang with us here. Just from a product roadmap of where CompassCom has been, is we've done a significant release with snow in preparation for the upcoming snow release. But in 7.8, we've done a lot of work on the ODB information, brand new dashboards, making things look much more modern, so to speak. and working on the database management app for especially the on-premise side of things to keep the database, make the administrative tasks, so to speak, much tighter. And also we're tracking phones, etc. With a 7.9 release, we're starting to work on the public viewer that's going out and utilizing a lot of the Esri technologies there as well. We have our next delivery on snow fighting, which is getting additional spreader material integration that we're working, for example, with Akron on. We have ADSB requests so that our airport customers that are also CityWorks can see where aircraft are as well as other assets. So we're bringing in the ADSB support. And then out in September, kind of where we're looking at is trying to take care of the folks that have special needs of the workflows. Hey, Darren, I think you're sharing a different screen, buddy. There we go. Darren's multiplexing. And then we have on the docket here tablets coming on board inside the vehicle and camera support as well. There we go.
So the next slide is what's next. So this is the slide that gets exciting. This is the conversation we're having with CompassCom and with ourselves internally as far as what that next step is. What can we do and how can we really leverage this technology? So other than that little glitch of a document popping up there, because I have too many screens, a lot of the conversation we're talking about is really how to dig into that use case. So CityWorks, you have it. You have your Elm form with your equipment, labor, materials. So what could you do if you had the ability to? Well, what if your vehicle, when it goes on site to a work order, say you're using Respond, and your men pull up in their vehicle and they're in Respond, and the vehicle automatically knows that they're now on site. So it tags time on, time off. So the hours that they were on site for that work. What if you also knew the equipment that was on the 10-ton dump that showed up to that job site? Could that be added to the work order automatically? It's all of these, we'll call them pie in the sky ideas that start to become more conversational ideas and more a matter of just implementation, not whether or not they're even possible when you're able to get this type of an integration going. So, some of those roadmap items that he spoke about really go into trying to get to this level and to this point with not just the CompassCom technology, but how to bring that intelligence and bring some of that use case into the CityWorks environment. So
I know another one that's been discussed quite a bit, Darren, is bringing the ODB information for your fleet offices when you have the check engine lights, for example,
yep.
Right into CityWorks as well.
Yes. So, that goes into if you're doing vehicle asset maintenance within the system, or in like City of Akron's case, we actually have multiple systems. So we have AssetWorks, which does our vehicle asset maintenance. We have CityWorks with our work order management and workforce management. And then we have CompassCom, so it's integrating the three so that they can work together, from an hours run time to, hours on job sites. So you can really start managing your costs as an organization from top to bottom, both from an asset standpoint and being able to leverage where those assets were during that. So we've ran pretty long, so not to keep everybody, but we want to make sure everybody had heard a little bit about what our integrations were with CompassCom. And with that, I will turn it over to Mike and let him finish.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody's time. Hopefully you learned a little bit about our integration with CityWorks with the city of Akron. Darren, I thought it was a great demo and always interesting to see live data running around. But if you have any more questions regarding how to enhance your CityWorks system using our AVL solution, I'd be happy to talk to you about that. My contact information is there, so please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or would like a demo. There we are.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.